mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind.
As the decades of the space race drew to a close in the late 70s, funding for both NASA and economic hardships from the USSR caused a massive fall in the space capabilities of both nations. This, however, proved to be a pivotal moment in the history of mankind, as both NASA and the USSR had plans for constructing new space stations. In the early 80s, NASA had plans to launch a modular space station called Freedom, to counterpart the Soviet Mir station. NASA at the time joined forces with the European Space Agency to combine the already ambitious Freedom with the ESA's Columbus program. However, all these plans would change soon. With the collapse of the Soviet Union and the formation of modern-day Russia, Roscosmos, the new Russian space agency, was left with the challenge of constructing Mir 2. This, however, presented an opportunity for both Roscosmos and NASA, creating a joint space station which would allow both agencies to share resources. And such, in September 1993, Russia and America announced the plans for the construction of the International Space Station. The ISS project was and still is an international project. In total, 16 nations will be part of this program, and those are the United States, Russia, the ESA, Japan, Canada, and Brazil, who would all share a common goal, and that is that the purpose of the ISS was mainly scientific research and space exploration. Plans that the ISS will be a stop point in future lunar missions and educational outreach. Construction on the station first began in early 1994. Construction of the ISS was split into two parts: Earth-side manufacturing and orbital assembly. The ISS consists of 16 pressurized modules, 6 of which are Russian, 8 American, 1 Japanese, and 1 European. Along with that, radiators, solar panels, support modules, and experiments make up the rest of the station. Assembly of the station began in November 1998. The first modules were docked robotically, while the rest were installed by Space Shuttle crew members and Soyuz cosmonauts. And in recent years, several temporary modules were installed on the ISS, most of which were built by private companies such as Boeing and SpaceX. On the 1st of November 2000, Expedition 1 docked with the ISS for the first time, marking a permanent, uninterrupted human presence on the station that still goes on today. As of May 2024, there have been 71 expeditions of the ISS. 279 individuals have visited the station since it was first inhabited. Being an astronaut takes decades of training, so it's no surprise when there are a few famous ones, such as Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield. Former commander of the ISS and struggling musician, Chris, during his time aboard the ISS, spent most of his time doing community outreach and helping people learn more about the ISS. While the station has stayed relatively the same for the last 10 years, the way astronauts come to the station from Earth has. In 2021, SpaceX became the first private company to have docked with the ISS, using their Crew Dragon capsule. This marked a new point in the station's history, making commercial spaceflight a new priority for the ISS. What took nations decades to accomplish, private companies began doing it in years, and for a lot less investment, which when talking about the ISS is a very important figure. The ISS is marked as the largest and most expensive project in history. The total investment in the station is north of $150 billion, with $7.5 million each day since 2000. The ISS is perhaps the most uniting project of all time, but its end is coming sooner rather than later. In a press conference, NASA and all other ISS members confirmed the station's eventual deorbit in 2031, for a replacement station to begin construction in the late 2028.